Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. We've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour and some special guests coming your way. Stick around for that. My co-host this morning, joining me every Tuesday morning, Benjamin Escobar. Benji, good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm happy to be back every week. Good to see all you great people.
Yeah. So it's been a good weekend. I know you were busy over the weekend because you were part of the spelling bee that happened, part of our production team at the spelling bee. What was your impression? Did you like the spelling bee?
I did. It's very cutthroat. It's like you make one mistake and you're out. Like these kids haven't misspelled a word this whole year. Once they misspell one word, they're going home.
I know. It was amazing, and I felt sorry. I felt sorry for the ones who didn't make it through to the rounds, because these kids were brilliant. They really were. I mean, you got to hand it to those kids. The words they were spelling, it was incredible. I think there were a few of them. They were like 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, and they made it all like the 8th round.
On the second last round, there was this kid who was 6 years old, like tiny little thing, and he was spelling these words, and I was just like, what?
That was crazy. It was crazy. It was a good experience. If you haven't heard, we had a spelling bee at HCC Southeast College. It was the regional spelling bee, and the winners go off to the national competition in Washington. So we had that at HCC Southeast. We're going to have one next year at the Southwest College. We'll have more on that. But most importantly, Benji, we're going to have like a 1 hour premiere of everything that happened at the spelling bee. So that'll be coming up on HCCTV in the future. So I think you're going to be working on that, right?
I am going to be working on that with Muhammad.
Right. So That's right. Okay. So let's get to today's show. We've got a couple of special guests. First off, we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning when HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. But Benji, they can also catch us in social media anytime and also on HCCTV.
Yeah, we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and we're also on YouTube. We're on Twitter, LinkedIn, and HCC TV, our own TV channel, where you can catch a rebroadcast of this show at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, so Benji, you're going to be talking to this next guest. We're going to introduce her real quickly. We welcome back HCC's Health Information Technology Department to talk about the jobs available in that field. Dr. Carla Tyson joins us this morning. It's good to see you, Carla. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fantastic. How are y'all doing?
We're great. I know you got a lot of great things going on at Coleman College, and we're looking forward to hearing all about that shortly. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. All right, we're going to kick things off. It is Tasty Tuesday, and we will welcome another Top Chef contestant as well as a judge during Top Chef Houston last season, who's on our second season of the show. Dawn Burrell joins us, a chef partner, late August, Top Chef contestant and judge, and our Tasty Tuesday guest. Dawn, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here this morning. Can you hear us? Let's see. I think your mic's muted still. Let's see if we can get you to unmute your mic. It should be the bottom left button there. And can we get it? Let's see. We're working on it, folks. Let's see. One more. Up. Still. Can you hear us now? Nope. Whoop. We have a few technical issues this morning, folks, but we're working on that right now. Dawn, can you hear us? Or it should be the button on your bottom left. And if you press that, it should have mute and it'll be unmuted. Uh-oh. Okay, I'll tell you what, Dawn, let's work on that. And how about if we get Benji to talk with Dr. Tyson real quickly, and we'll get your mic unmuted in a few minutes and we'll get you on. So Benji, let's go ahead and get Dr. Tyson on as our first guest, and she can tell us about everything going on at Coleman College in the job market. And Dawn will be with you in about 10 minutes. How about that? There we go. Can you hear us now, Dawn?
I'm here now. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I had a weird view on Zoom, so that button that we were talking about was not there.
That's all right. We appreciate you being here. Okay. First off, let's clear something up, because I was asking about this earlier. Tell us who your brother is, because I think the rest of the world may know as well. And I know I'm certainly a fan of your brothers as well. You're an athlete as well. You came to Houston from Philly. You did track, and I think your brother is pretty big in track as well.
Correct. Yeah, my brother's a former head coach at University of Houston,
Yes.
two-time former world record holder. He is the current head coach of Auburn University track and field program. And yeah, he's a legend in his own right. So I'm
He
happy.
certainly is. Yeah. And I saw your name and I heard she's got to be related to him somehow. So we're talking about Leroy Burrell, if you haven't known, a longtime Coug, and certainly was proud of him as well. Chef, we're certainly enamored with your celebrity status and James Beard nomination, Best Chef in Texas, but you were also a former Coug. What brought you to Houston?
I came to Houston to go to University of Houston on a full track and field scholarship, following the trail that my brother blazed for me, which was amazing. There was a sense of comfort here that your older brother provides in the program that he came through before you. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me to be here with him.
How did you came here as an athlete, but now you're a top chef? How did that transition come about?
Well, after I gave myself a deadline for retirement in 2008 from track and field, I was still competing. I was trying to make that team. And if I told myself that if I did not make that team, I was going to start a new career. I was going to retire completely and move on to the next phase of my life. And I searched deeply to find out what exactly I wanted to do. You know, you spend all this time in school trying to figure out, who you are, who you're trying to be or aspiring to be professionally. And I didn't have any answers still after I graduated. It definitely was not what I studied. And so I dug deep, and I decided that I loved cooking, like more than anything in the world, almost more than track and field. Wow. I loved cooking. Yeah.
And your food is described as global comfort food. Is that right? What type of dishes are we talking here?
So global comfort means, for example, a dish that I made in Top Chef during Restaurant Wars. It was a pan-seared scallop with ham hock dashi, braised collard greens with Creole XO. Yeah. So you have all of these Southern ingredients with Southern American kind of flavor profiles. And then you refine it to kind of include other cultures in it, and you kind of wrap it up in a little bow and present it neatly on a plate. That is global comfort.
So I'm from New Orleans originally, so I'm very familiar with Creole cooking and Cajun food, all that. But you're from Philly.
Yes.
Was that characteristic of what you grew up with, or did you adopt that when you came down here to Houston?
Well, I'm from Philly, but I've been here for a very long time, and all of my food experiences and life experiences and things that I study, I'm making my own by delving deeply and studying the food and understanding food historically. And so yes, it's definitely something that I adapted to when I came here. But I was also very young, not really knowing very much about food in the beginning. Like I moved here when I was 17, wow. So I developed who I grew up here. And during my adulthood, I developed an affinity for food of the Pan-Africans, African diaspora. And so you'll find all of those ingredients and techniques reflected in my cooking style.
You also work with other chefs here in the Houston area. I know we've had Monica Pope on the show before, and you worked with her as well. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, working with Monica was eye-opening. It was great. She is honestly the first chef who identified my talent and celebrated it for what it was. My keen ability to develop deep flavor, rich flavor, and accurate flavor. These are things that she either helped me or helped me develop or identified within me.
What is we've also had Hugo Ortega on the show, James Beard Award. Hugo was really big with HCC. I mean, he's a very big supporter of our show. What's it like to be nominated for a James Beard Award? I mean, people don't understand. That's like the Oscars of the food industry. What's that like, and how did that come about?
Well, it always comes as a surprise because you know around the time period it's going to be released, but you never know the day that the list will be released. And it was I can say that it was quite an honor and a surprise because I didn't know. It came at a point in time where I was really troubled about what I was going to do with my work. It was right after my mom had a stroke, and I returned back to work, and I was like contemplating my career, contemplating everything, how I was going to manage taking care of my mother and working, and then this nomination came and let me know that what I'm doing here is fruitful and worthwhile. And it was a really wonderful feeling to have.
Top Chef, how did that come about? I mean, I don't think people understand all the things that go behind the scenes with television shows, but tell us a bit about that experience.
Well, Top Chef is a push. It is just as hard as it as it looks on TV, or maybe a little bit harder because you're not realizing how long these days are, but it's brutal. And it's wonderfully rewarding. You get to push yourself beyond what it is that you would normally do in your real life, and it's the challenges they bring. They make you dig deep and bring forth the best that you absolutely have. And it's great to be pushed that way.
We had your partner, Chris Williams, on the show, gave us a little bit of info about Late August, and that's your newest project.
Correct.
When can we see that opening, and what can we expect there?
Well, we can expect the same style of cooking, global comfort, with touches very much like the scallop dish that I described, but touches of like Asian or modern Japanese influences. And we were scheduled to open mid-June with our certificate of occupancy coming to us at the end of May. So we're really excited about this.
So we can expect that this summer. Where is the location so our folks can know? Because we're going to put some information in our social media posts as well.
Excellent. The location is in the Ion, which is a tech hub. And we will. It's a beautiful building for startups. I am one of the concepts that's on the ground floor, and I think that we'll probably have our grand opening in August sometime, which will be very fitting.
And you've also, real quickly, you've got a nonprofit you're working with as well. I wanted to mention that.
Correct. Our nonprofit division is called 1913, Lucille's 1913, and we combat food insecurity head on. Our goal is to meet the needs of these the people who are living in these underserved and impoverished neighborhoods to make sure that they have the foods and sustainable foods that they need. Attached with food education, which is very important to us.
Dawn Burrell, she's a chef partner of Late August and Top Chef contestant and judge, and our Tasty Tuesday guest. Dawn, we appreciate you being here. Do you get out and run still?
You know what? Every week I say I'm starting,
right,
but I haven't started my regimen yet. But I think that I need to beef up my level of fitness for the opening of this restaurant. So you'll catch me on the road.
All right. Well, Dawn, we appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us this morning. And I'm going to get out to Late August when you guys open up. I'm definitely going to be out there.
Please come. Please come.
Right. We're looking forward to it. Thank you, Dawn, for being here on the show. Say hi to your brother for us. Big fan.
Will do. Thank you.
Take care of yourself. All right. So, Benji, we're going to turn things over to you. And you've got a special guest from Coleman College who's going to tell us about some of the job opportunities available to our students.
Yes, we're moving on to Dr. Carla Tyson. She is the Program Director of Health Information Services at HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Tyson.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing good.
I want to go to Dawn's restaurant.
Right.
That's what I'm ready to do.
Yeah, we're waiting for that. So before we get started, could you give us a little background of telling us what the Health Information Technology program is at Coleman?
I would love to. What we have is a 2-year associate degree in health information technology, but we also have exit points. We have a 9-month analyst exit point and a coding certificate exit point. So as students progress toward their associate degree, they pick up an analyst certificate and they can pick up a coding certificate. Once they complete the coding certificate, they can sit for the Certified Coding Associate Credential, CCA, with the American Health Information Management Association. And when they finish their 2-year associate degree in health information technology, they're ready to sit for their RHIT credential, Registered Health Information Technician, also with AHIMA, American Health Information Management Association. And these certificates, these credentials are national credentials.
Wow. So is this field of health information something that we may know more as medical records?
Yeah, that's the old-fashioned name, medical records. Back in the day when I was in school, we called it medical records. So my degree, my 4-year degree, is in medical records, but it has since transitioned to be called health information management. You can get your associate, your baccalaureate, your master's, even your doctorate in the field of health informatics.
Is there a reason why they changed the name?
I'm so glad you asked that question, Benjamin. Yes, the reason that it changed is because we went from managing information on a paper basis to electronic. So with the advent of technology, we now manage records electronically. We have electronic health records. And with the advent of AI, I can only imagine what's next.
I don't know. There's some crazy things that the AI can do, which just surprise me. And it's all for the better sometimes, in a sense, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah.
So if you could describe to us what that health information technology program at Houston Community College is, and what can we do and why it may be better.
Well, let's say that you want to go into the healthcare industry, right? And you're thinking, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, and that's all you know about healthcare, because when you watch TV, when you watch The Good Doctor or ER, whatever those, well, I'm dating myself, not ER, but Grey's Anatomy. When you watch those, all you see are doctors and nurses. But there's a wide range of healthcare career fields. We offer 16 health career fields at the Coleman campus, and health information is just one of them. A lot of these healthcare fields, nursing, dental, sonography, respiratory therapy, you touch the patient. Your hands touch the patient. So what comes with the touching of the patient? Blood and guts, pee and poop. Oh, do I really want to touch that stuff? Well, there are other fields such as health information where you do not touch the patient. Everything is in a business office environment. You touch paper, you touch computers, you do electronic analysis and the manipulation of data. So if you like the healthcare field, but you don't want to do blood and guts, but you like the environment, but you do like computers, you do like manipulating data, you do like analyzing data, you do like crunching numbers, and you like understanding what's going on with the patient, that's health information is the field.
I think that's a good way of putting it, because there's people who are very they can't even see blood. They'll faint or they'll throw up, and they'll also,
Yes, exactly. And with health information, you have an indirect impact on the patient care. For instance, let's say that the physician diagnoses appendicitis, patient has an appendectomy. One of our responsibilities is to code using ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS. Our responsibility is to code those diagnoses and procedures. Well, what if we code them incorrectly? If we code them incorrectly, that means the patient may not get the appropriate treatment. They may not get the appropriate medication. The insurance company may not pay for their treatment, pay for their prescriptions. So it's vital that we make sure that we code this information correctly. Another thing is we need to make sure that the information is accurate, that it's timely. If let's say that the physician meant to write that the left leg needed to be amputated, but he actually amputates the right leg. But we need to make sure that that information is correct, that is accurate, because if the wrong leg is amputated, that could be a problem.
Yeah. I would have a problem with that.
I would have a problem too. Or if it's coded incorrectly. If it's coded incorrectly, the insurance company may not pay for this.
Yeah.
So the management of this information is vital. It's vital to the healthcare industry. In fact, the field of health information is so large that the field of medicine sits inside of the field of health information. Think of it like we are the library of holding all of this information. In fact, when using electronic health records, there's an algorithm involved in this system where a patient presents, they tell the physician their symptoms, and using an EHR, the physician can put the symptoms in, and it can help the physician diagnose and treat the patient.
Okay. Now, quickly, let me ask you this. Do graduates need a credential to work in the field? And what is the health IT workers market here in the Houston area?
It's best that they have that RHIT credential, the Registered Health Information Technician credential that is offered by the American Health Information Management Association, AHIMA. Once students finish their 2-year associate degree, they need to sit for that RHIT credential. A lot of our graduates aren't sitting for it, but I'm telling you, y'all need to sit for it. A lot of them aren't sitting for it, and they're still getting jobs because there's a need for people in the field. But with that credential, and Benjamin, I know you're way too young to know anything about this, but back in the day when there were speakeasies before alcohol was legal, they had these things called speakeasies where people would go to these clubs and they would knock on the door and they would have to give the code to get into the speakeasy. And if they knew the speakeasy code, they got in. If they didn't know it, they couldn't get in. That's what the credential is. The credential is like knowing the code to get in the door. So when you have your credential, that RHIT credential, you get in the door. If you don't have your credential, it's hard to get in the door. So yeah, they need that credential.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all this information, Dr. Carla Tyson. She is the Program Director of Health Information Services at HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences. And we'll have all of your info about your program on our post after the show. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate you for having me.
Thanks, Dr. Tyson. Great information. We got to get her own show. You know that? We got to get her own show.
Yeah, let's do that.
We seriously, we got to get you your own show. Let's do that.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks for being here.
Bye, y'all.
Benji, quick story, Benji. So she was talking about speakeasies. So, I travel to Chattanooga every summer, and there was this one particular restaurant/bar that you had to go into like a phone booth, and you call on the phone booth, and they'd answer the phone. Then they'd press a button, and the phone booth would open, and then you could walk in the place.
Wow.
So they're
are
still
there things that are not supposed to be there? Because it sounds like they're very secretive, and it's like
it was
going on in there.
Yeah, it was a gimmick. We walked in, we're like, okay, this is great, and then we walked out. But whatever. It was just an interesting concept. Okay, hey folks, if you're interested in artificial intelligence, AI, we've got an incredible program here at HCC. And on Thursday and Friday, we've got some events happening. Thursday in particular, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., the 2023 AI Conference is happening. The Gulf Coast Annual Conference on Artificial Intelligence will offer an informative, inspiring discussion with some of Houston's greatest minds about the latest advancements in AI, as well as professional opportunities in this field. The conference is free. They'll have breakfast, lunch, and snacks as well. You're going to be there, right? Are you there?
I will be there both days because it's like a 2-day ordeal.
I'll be there on Thursday. So I'm just going for the breakfast and the lunch that I'm going there for. But no, seriously, some great information. If you're interested in AI, it's happening at HCC's, pretty funny, huh? Happening at HCC's Northwest A-Leaf Hayes campus, and it's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thursday, March 30th. We'll have some information in our post after the show. What's your value proposition?
Well, let's find out, because your brand's value proposition is a promise of what's to be delivered by you. HCC's Open for Business Partner is hosting a workshop to create an effective value proposition. As an entrepreneur, your short, clear value proposition should provide 1, relevancy, 2, quantified value, and 3, differentiation. This will take place Friday, March 31st on Zoom. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to noon. And check out our post after the show for a link to register.
Okay, because of the sake of time, we're going to skip down to our registration information. Because if you haven't registered for the summer yet, what are you waiting for? Summer registration is underway right now. You can take classes literally 5 ways: online anytime, online as schedule, hybrid, in-person, hybrid labs. All of that's available, but you got to register early to get the classes you want. Don't be like Benji. Benji waits to the last minute. He never gets the classes he wants, so he just has to settle. Don't settle like Benji does.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a Benji. No.
Did you register for summer yet?
No, I'm still a Benji.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, hccs.edu/apply is the website to go to. All right, tomorrow on the show, Dr. Zachary Hodges, you know him. He's the president of our Northwest College. He will be here to talk about his National League of Innovation Award. And later this week, Dr. Kurt Ewan, Chief of Staff and Vice Chancellor of Strategy Planning and Institutional Effectiveness, he'll be joining us on the show. So we got a big week lined up for you. Make sure you're here for all of it. Benji, don't ignore your girlfriend this weekend. Take her out, okay?
Yeah, we'll take her out.
All right.
We'll take her to another spelling bee.
Yeah, well, apparently you didn't do anything with her last weekend, so she's not going to stick around for that. So, little
Maybe
advice.
not. We'll see.
I'll watch out for you. All right, folks.
Keep her.
Benji will be back next week, and we'll be back tomorrow. We're live at 10 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow on Up to the Minute.